What's up guys, Tomasa here, and today I have a brand new video. I wanted to talk about 1v1 situations and what you should be doing in those situations to make sure that you come away with the W. Now, as you guys know, Gears of War 4 is a team-based game, but you are going to have those situations where you're going to end up 1 versus 1 with somebody else on the team, whether your team gets slayed out and it is a non-respawn game like Execution and it is you versus one person, or it is a respawn game like Escalation and you are the only person left, and for some reason there's only one other person left on their team and it's for the win. So what you should be doing in these situations is what we're going to be talking about. It's a lot of things that people don't think about because when they get in those moments, they aren't as focused as they should be. They're not looking at the big picture, and it's not a mark on anybody. Obviously, I do the same things. A lot of people just go in Nasher crazy, but today what I wanted to talk about is a few things that you can kind of get in your head and kind of put to the back of your mind so that when you get in these situations, you might actually remember and want to change things up and actually play a little bit smarter. So real quick, we're going to be talking about map controls. And what I mean by map control is usually when you are in a 1v1 situation, there is some sort of power weapon or something that you are fighting. Whether you are playing GBs and you are playing 1v1s, or you're playing with your squad and you're running 5v5s, or you're running respawn games, whatever it may be, there is some sort of objective that you're going to be playing for, whether it's a power weapon or it is a hill or something along those lines. So we're going to be talking about the actual power weapon, not the hill this time. So what I mean by the power weapon, obviously, we have the boom shots, the torque bows, all the weapons that are on the maps that are already there when we spawn in. So you're going to be fighting for one power weapon, mainly the boom shot or the drop shot, some sort of strong power weapon depending on map. So with map control, what you want to do is get yourself in the best situation possible, and what I mean is don't run in Nasher crazy. You want to have good angles, you want to have good pressure, you want to make sure that you always have right hand advantage as much as possible. You can always lefty flip, that is possible to do, but just remember, as soon as you let go of that left trigger, you are going to flip right back to the right hand, and you might not be in the best position depending on if your opponent is pushing you or not. So you want to play to your strengths as well. So if your Nasher game is not the greatest or your movement is not the greatest, just remember it's not always about bouncing all crazy or doing the up A's, the back A's, the slap shots, all that kind of stuff. It's not always about that. Sometimes going back to the basics and just strafing and landing your shots honestly makes a huge difference. Also, like I said, you want to play to your strengths. So what you want to do is at least put a couple shots into your opponent before you just go in with your Nasher. Obviously, when you start off a spawn, you don't want to just switch to your Nasher and run headfirst in, because 9 times out of 10, unless you are God plays and you're just in there bouncing around slaying it up, I highly doubt that you are going to be doing that against somebody that actually has some sort of knowledge in the game and plays with some sort of head on their shoulders. Not a mark against anybody. Just like I said, a lot of people, they don't play like that. They're just caught up in the moment and they don't really think about the situation. So normally on competitive mode, you should be using your pistol if you have a pretty good shot, because the pistol can do a lot of damage and it is a very, very quick fire rate. So it is a lot better than the Lancer depending on the map, like I said. So on like Forge, when you're at the incinerator, you should be using your pistol in those general areas depending on what is the spawns. So you also have the Retro Lancer that you can be using or something along those lines, something that is going to be powerful that you can put a couple of shots into, at least weaken your enemy before they actually make the push, so that you can either back them off and they play a little bit more passive, or if they do start rushing, you can just pull out your Nasher. They're already a little weak and land one shot, get the one shot, get the down, either or, and get the victory. So just a lot of things that people don't think about. Like I said, a lot of people just run in with the Nashers, and that is what their main focus is, going with the Nasher because that's what they think 1v1s are. It's not always about that. So just remember, when you are playing and you are in certain 1v1 situations, always make sure to be aware of your surroundings as your character movement. Make sure that you know, okay, I can push here if I need to, I can push there if I need to, that you put yourself in the best spot with cover. You don't want to get caught off guard and have them come flank around or something along those lines, smoke you out and just push you if you're not ready for it. Make sure that you play distance along those lines. Also, when you are playing for power weapons, just remember if the power weapon is really worth it or not. Maybe there's somewhere else you can go on the map. Say your long shot game is a lot better than your boom shot game. Well, you obviously don't know exactly who your opponent is and what their skill set is. So if you have a lot more confidence with the sniper, maybe you can rotate on the map, push the sniper, let them get the boom shot, let them have it, or the drop shot, whatever the weapon may be on spawn, and actually try to use the sniper to your advantage, because like I said, it is always about playing to your strengths and what you are most comfortable with. But like I said, a lot of this you just have to go in and practice and play and really think about what you are doing in certain situations. You don't want to get into positions where you aren't going to be doing as well. So if you know your opponent and you see kind of how they play, if they're very passive, maybe being aggressive is a little bit more of a better option. If that is your strength, they won't be able to handle it as well. They won't really know what to do if somebody rushes them. Or if you see that your opponent is rushing you and you know they're playing very, very aggressively, you can play a little bit more passive, put some lancer shots in, some snub shots, get them weak so that they don't know what to do. They kind of throws them off, whether they get full red or they get a little red, whether they're going to continue to push, they're going to back off. It gives you a little bit more of a slight advantage against your opponent than just running in with the Nasher and hoping and praying to God that your wall bounce game is on point that day. So there you guys go. There's a quick little video that you guys can think about when you guys play in your next 1v1 situations. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Also, make sure to leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. If there's something else that you think is good in a 1v1 situation. Like I said, it's not always about being the most flashy player. Sometimes being basic is very, very good. So make sure to leave me a comment down below. Let me know your guys' opinions. And also, if you are new, make sure to subscribe for further update videos all on Gears of War 4. And I'll see you in the next one.